Saturday afternoon football in Week 18, both things that are new. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick the matchup between the Chiefs and the Denver Broncos, who play host to Kansas City. RC, who do you got?
Listen, I have the Chiefs. The Chiefs understand they need to walk into the playoffs in a place where they are playing at a high level, both offensively and defensively. They need to get back to what that defense was for about the last 7 weeks and get this offense clicking the way we saw it in the second half of the Los Angeles Chargers game. And they will do that against this Denver Broncos team that will be beat up in the secondary. The Chiefs are still playing for a #1 seed, and I think we'll see that.
The Chiefs, if history is any indication, are basically a lock as they have beaten the Broncos 12 straight times. Week 18 kicks off with a pair of games on Saturday, both on the ESPN family of networks, including the Cowboys, who travel to Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this matchup. RC, who you taking?
Listen, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a team that's been playing better of late, and the Dallas Cowboys just have so many people that will not be available to them this weekend. And they also understand that they need to be ready for the wild card playoff round much more than what's going to happen on Saturday. Philadelphia Eagles fight a little harder, and the Eagles fly. Eagles fly.
Yeah, two NFC East teams heading to the playoffs. This one's about seeding. We'll see how it shakes out on Saturday night. Ohio bragging rights are on the line on Sunday as the Bengals and Browns square off in Week 18. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this one. RC, there will be no Joe Burrow as the Bengals have already clinched the AFC North. Yeah. Who are you taking in this matchup?
You know what? I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns. I believe that run game will be good this weekend. I believe Kevin Stefanski will try to prove a point with Case Keenum at quarterback. And when you take out Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals, that's like taking Field Yates away from ESPN. They'll never go platinum.
Oh, man, RC, I'm blushing. I can barely make it through the rest of this video. We'll see whether or not Case Keenum can get the job done now that the pressure has been put on by Ryan Clark. Packers have nothing to play for in Week 18. Nothing. They can't improve their stock or devalue their stock at all. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this matchup with the Detroit Lions, who have a chance at the #1 pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. RC, who are you taking in this one?
The Detroit Lions will not get the #1 overall pick because they're going to win this game. Ooh. The one thing we know about the Fighting Dan Campbells is that they will bite kneecaps until the cows come home. The Green Bay Packers aren't playing for anything. I don't expect Aaron Rodgers to play the entire game. And this is a team in the Detroit Lions that understand how to keep it close and at some points even win. But this week, they'll be over the hump against the Green Bay Packers and get this dub.
Yeah, the Lions may not have a ton of wins this year, but they certainly have fought hard, a reflection of how they play for their head coach. Nothing at stake between two NFC North teams and the Bears and the Vikings, but we do know that Andy Dalton's expected to start at quarterback for Chicago with Justin Fields placed on the COVID-19 list during the week. RC, who are you taking in this one?
I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings. We watched the Minnesota Vikings go down to Chicago and get a win. Now they'll be at home. Justin Jefferson is still a guy who's going to compete. And we obviously know that Mike Zimmer will not allow the Minnesota Vikings to lay down. They're the better team. They'll play the better game. And they'll finish the season with a win against a division opponent.
With just 5 catches on Sunday, Justin Jefferson can surpass Michael Thomas for the most catches by a player in his first 2 seasons in NFL history. Somebody's got to win on Sunday as the Washington football team squares off with the New York Giants. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this one. Sounds like we'll see Jake Fromm starting for New York. Who are you taking in this one, RC?
You know what? I'm going to take the Washington football team in this battle of teams that have nothing to look forward to. The Washington football team has played better throughout the season. The New York Giants are declining. If you can even imagine that being something that a team that's played this way all season can do. And I expect the Washington football team to find a way to win this game.
The Washington football team will change its name in less than 1 month. One more ride as the Washington football team on Sunday against the Giants. Stakes are clear for Indianapolis. Win on Sunday against Jacksonville, and they are in the playoffs. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this matchup. RC, is there any way that the Jaguars pull off the upset?
I mean, there's a way, but I ain't seeing it. I picked the Indianapolis Colts in this game. This is a team that's fought their way to have an opportunity to get to the playoffs. You have a guy like Jonathan Taylor, a great offensive line to protect Carson Wentz and create holes for Taylor to run through, and a defense that is opportunistic. And I said all that, which I really didn't need to, because I could have just said they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. The end. Colts win.
Yeah, and if the Jaguars lose on Sunday, they will have the #1 overall pick for the second straight year. Not exactly the kind of streak you want to build for your franchise. There's an overused saying in sports that you can throw out the records when these two teams play, but it does apply to the Steelers and the Ravens. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this Week 18 matchup. It's likely the final game for Ben Roethlisberger in his career. Who are you taking, RC?
You know, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you look at the run game, it was something that really showed up last week against the Cleveland Browns, and also defensively, Defensive Player of the Year leader now, TJ Watt, has this defense hunting the quarterback, and they will be hunting whoever's playing quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens to the tune of a win in what could be Ben Roethlisberger's final game as the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback.
Yeah, both of these teams have an outside chance of making the playoffs. When I say outside, RC, I mean like way deep into the forest, outside. They need a whole bunch of stuff to go right, probably playing for just pride on Sunday. The path is clear for the Tennessee Titans. They win. They are the #1 seed in the AFC, which gets them a bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick their matchup with the Houston Texans. The Texans are frisky, RC, but can the Titans take care of business and get that #1 seed?
I believe the Titans will. The Houston Texans have been playing inspired ball, even though it's not necessarily always resulting in wins. The Tennessee Titans are playing for that #1 overall seed. They expect to have Derrick Henry back down the road. So getting that bye and getting home field advantage would be huge for this football team. Mike Vrabel will have them ready to play, and I expect them to finish what they started.
If we're having a Coach of the Year conversation this year, it better involve Mike Vrabel. He has been awesome once again. The Saints have more than a pulse in the NFC playoff picture. If they win, the 49ers lose, they are in the playoffs. They play one of their bitter rivals, the Atlanta Falcons, on Sunday. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this matchup. RC, who's winning?
You know what? I'm going to pick the Atlanta Falcons, and I know the Saints defense could keep them in any football game, and this one will be hotly contested. But if you're the Atlanta Falcons and you're playing against your division rival, you would like nothing more than to play spoiler, and I believe that Arthur Smith and his crew does just that.
Yeah, the Falcons have been pretty gritty this year for a team that is depleted of talent. If they could finish with 8 wins, it would be quite a feather in the cap in first-year head coach Arthur Smith. The Bills are looking to win back-to-back AFC East championships. The only thing in their way on Sunday is a Jets team that has been better of late. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this matchup. RC, can the Bills handle their business at home against the Jets?
Yeah, the Bills will handle their business. And now, they aren't invincible at home. We've seen teams walk in there and win, but the Jets won't do that. Buffalo has been playing good on defense without Tre'Davious White, their star corner. Josh Allen has shown that he's back to some of that MVP form we saw from him last year, and a guy that can carry this team throughout the playoffs. New people popping up on offense, making plays, and a quarterback that is distributing the ball as well as anybody in the league. The Buffalo Bills take care of business for Sean McDermott, and they make it 2 in a row in the AFC East.
And if they do win, they will be ensured of at least a top 4 seed in the AFC with the potential to move realistically up to the 3rd seed as well. One of the best games of the weekend is the 49ers and the Rams. The 49ers wiped the Rams earlier this year when these two teams played. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this one. RC, can the Rams exact some revenge and beat San Francisco this time?
You know what? They don't. The 49ers just kind of have their number. And the 49ers are so consistently themselves. They're extremely physical. They play tough defense where they get after the passer. And we'll see that exact thing against the Los Angeles Rams. This game will be competitive. The Rams are playing for something too. But I think the grit, the grime, and the intensity that the San Francisco 49ers will bring to this game is the way that they will walk out of the stadium a winner and enter into the playoffs. And they're going to be hell on wheels to stop.
Yeah, RC is generally right, and if he is on Sunday, the 49ers would clinch a playoff berth in the NFC. Patriots are headed back to the playoffs, but first, they have to make a stop in Miami. Field Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this matchup between the Patriots and the Dolphins on Sunday. RC, who you got?
I'm picking the New England Patriots, and I know people are going to say that they don't normally play well in Miami, but Bill Belichick understands what's at stake. If you watch Tua Tagovailoa and that team and what was kind of a must-win, a game to prove something, that offense didn't play well. I expect the New England Patriots to play well on defense, run the football, and walk out of the stadium with a win as they enter the playoff picture.
If the Patriots do win, they have a chance at both an AFC East championship and also the possibility to move all the way up to number 2 in the conference. That would take a lot of fortune on their side. We've got an NFC West matchup between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Phil Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this one. RC, the Cardinals are playoff bound, and they enter the postseason with a win.
I do believe they enter the postseason with a win. And listen, Mina Kimes is going to be upset with me, but she's been upset every week about what the Seattle Seahawks have been doing anyway. And I think this will just be another week where Arizona understands that they need to be ramping things up. It can't have that decline that they had last season. Kyler Murray played better last week. Vance Joseph found ways to put pressure on the quarterback by using DBs in the blitz. And I expect to see a lot of that again this week as the Arizona Cardinals take a win into the playoffs.
Cardinals headed to the playoffs. The Seahawks headed to a very interesting offseason. We'll see whether Russell Wilson's a part of their future beyond this year. It's been quite a week for the Buccaneers. They now get to play football on Sunday against the Panthers. Phil Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this one. RC, the Bucs going in the right direction in terms of win-loss. The Panthers going in the wrong direction. Who's winning this game on Sunday?
I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, listen, this team has had a tumultuous week dealing with some of this Antonio Brown fallout, but we have to remember they were in a very tough game against the Jets, and they find a way to pull it out with Cyril Grayson and some of those other guys who have taken the place of Godwin and Brown. They have to continue to find continuity offensively, and I know they want to play better defensively heading into the playoffs. This is a huge game for the Buccaneers. I believe they'll be prepared. I believe that they'll be ready, and they'll execute enough to get the win.
Man, if the Panthers fall to 5-12, what a fall that would be from a 3-0 start to begin the season. You win, you're into the playoffs. Chargers, Raiders, Sunday Night Football. Doesn't get much better than this. Phil Yates and Ryan Clark here to pick this one. RC, who's going to the postseason?
I'm taking the Chargers. This is a rematch of a very good primetime game early on in the season. I think the Chargers have gotten healthy defensively. Joe Lombardi has now shown some creativity on the offensive side of the football to help Justin Herbert and that amazing talent. And I expect them to understand what's at stake this week, play well, win, and then scare a ton of teams that are already in this playoff tournament because the Chargers are uber talented.
Yeah, when in doubt, seems like a good way to break the tie by going towards the quarterback. Justin Herbert has been special this season.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.